I just want to apologise for this low quality image. I did try and find some higher ones, but I couldn't. So for my website, I've had to make the images slightly smaller than they are here, but personally I don't think that's the end of the world. Anyway, I digress. So this screen recording is of the images which you are able to see on Beyonce's #4 album, which is a real life digipack. I will also be making screen recordings of the typeface, the layout, the use of colour, the use of language, and the legal elements as well, but this one is just purely focused on the images. So, the fact that all of the components have a similar style makes it flow and match a little nice, or match nicely. By this I'm talking about the fact that, as you can see, they are all pretty much the same. In fact, they are the same sort of style and everything like that. There's also a consistent tinge of like a yellow on all of the images, which is to continue with that connection and that flow between all of them. Although it's not a very yellowy, it's like a beigey yellow, but anyway, you get the idea. So you can see that it has got elements of it on all three of the images, that quite neutral thing on itself. So, all of the photos are taken from the same photo shoot, as I just mentioned or started to go on to it. This means that if an audience member was to see any of these photos, they would instantly recognise it and know where it is coming from, which is quite an important thing for an artist to be able to stand out and have a reputation for their albums individually. So, on the front, we can see that there is a simple low-angle shot of Beyonce, which is to make sure that all the attention is on her. Although it's low quality, you can also see that the direct address isn't through her eye contact, it is slightly over the camera, which is quite a key and important thing, and it does show that she's more important, you could say, or something like that. So, there is also no unnecessary information on the front of this cover. As you can see, it literally just says her name and the album number. The choice of outfit could also be something which could get more attention, due to the fact that it's quite unique, it's provocative, which does sell nowadays. The low angle suggests that she is quite a dominant, strong and powerful figure, and the fact that her image is overlapping her name would suggest that she's already too famous, that she doesn't need to show her whole name. So it's like when Vogue covers half of their name with the people's heads, because they already know that people will recognise their magazine, so don't have to show the whole thing, which is basically what Beyonce's done. She's saying that her fame is so big that she doesn't need to put her full name on the album, with it all showing, which definitely sends a statement on its own. Moving on to the image on the inside, as you can see, it's less focused on Beyonce and a little bit more on her location, although she is still quite a large figure in this image. So due to her stance, it does draw attention down her knee and towards the red disc, which is quite an important feature. The way in which her head is tilted upwards doesn't draw much attention. It's making sure that you really do just go like that, and like that U sort of shape. as the image is pretty central, if you look at the gap between here and here, again, she's got no unnecessary wording, none at all actually on this one. So that sends a statement on its own. Yeah. So moving on to the back image, as we can see here, you get a better understanding for the location of the shoot, as Beyonce is looking over the city from a high rooftop building. It is definitely carrying on this idea that she's quite powerful and authoritative. And yeah, this image is also pretty sexual due to the high cut bodysuit, which goes up here. But again, that's the sort of stuff which sells nowadays. Beyonce is covering up some of the masthead as well, just on the front cover, to show that she's just as well known, and again, doesn't need to show her full name. Although it's only a very subtle thing, it definitely sends a powerful message by covering some of her name, although it is less. The way in which she is looking over suggests that it's almost like a balcony for her, which is like an everyday thing, and she gets just to relax and everything like that, which also sends quite a powerful message. So that's all I want to talk about for the images for this real digipack.